This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.
Welcome back. A 49-year-old male resident of Windward Isles, Sunset Park, is in police custody, arrested on Thursday after he was allegedly found in possession of some 3 pounds of suspected marijuana, which was confiscated by officers, and the male was arrested for possession of dangerous drugs with the intent to supply. According to reports, shortly after 1 p.m., officers attached to Operation Ceasefire, acting on information, went to a home in the area of Sunset Park and upon arrival observed a male holding a plastic bag and acting in a suspicious manner. The male attempted to flee, which resulted in a short pursuit. During the chase, the suspect attempted to discard the plastic bag. However, in doing so, a large quantity of suspected marijuana wrapped in plastic fell out of the bag. Subsequently, he was apprehended. The suspect, again, arrested. The estimated amount of marijuana, $3,000 on the streets. An adult male, an adult female, and 2 juveniles, all Chinese nationals, are in custody of officers of the Bahamas Immigration Department. Police on Grand Bahama apprehended the nationals in the area of Royal Palm Way. Police reports indicating that shortly before 10 p.m. on Thursday, officers received information that the group of Chinese nationals were found hiding in a yard in the area of Royal Palm Way. They were arrested and subsequently turned over to the relevant authorities. Credit and debit card fees have become increasingly higher over the past few years. Consumer Protection Commissioner, Senior Supervisor for Education, Research and Training, LaVar Darling, says this is becoming a growing concern for the Commission as these fees are against the law.
The Merchant Services Agreement for using a credit card stipulates that you're not supposed to have a minimum purchase and you're not supposed to be charging a convenience fee to use your credit or debit card. So that is a matter of major concern for us. And how are we addressing it? We had a meeting recently with Central Bank to speak about that, and we did. And one of the things that came out of that meeting is that we're going to be looking at introducing legislation to actually enforce the Merchant Services Agreement.
He says all merchants are aware of the Merchant Service Agreement, and if the government aims to go cashless in a few years, this issue needs to be addressed. One of the solutions is to inform and educate small businesses as well as the general public.
So using your credit or debit card should not be more expensive than using cash. Right? It goes against the stated policy objective of the government of Bahamas. And as a statutory agency, those type of matters are concerned for us and we're addressing them. And so what we're going to do is develop a financial literacy campaign that we expect to launch in a few months, where we're going to be speaking to particularly small business SMEs about how you can lower your costs with your digital transactions. We'd have heard recently with the petroleum dealers when they indicated that one of their major costs was actually the fees attributed to that they incur by their credit and their debit card payments.
Another aspect of concern is the merchant discount rates being the same for credit cards and debit card transactions.
Right, so if your bank is charging you the same fee to process a credit card or a debit card, that should not be, right? Because a debit card is not as complicated to process as a credit card payment. And so the fees that your bank charges you to process a debit card payment should be less than a credit card. Right, so that's one of the areas that we're concerned about.
Mr. Darling says the Commission is addressing all concerns on behalf of Bahamians, and in the coming months, the public will see some traction in these areas. There have been a few minor events and some controversial events held here over the past decade when it comes to professional boxing, but boxing is set to make a comeback in the next 2 weeks. Fans will get a treat with an all-female boxing card with some hard-hitting ladies lacing them up and going head-to-head right here in the capital. We hear more about this all-female fight card in this next report. Professional boxing returns to the 242 with the first all-female fight card ever hosted in the Bahamas. The event held in honor of legendary boxer Ray Minus Jr. and hosted by First Class Promotions in conjunction with the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture. It'll take place Friday, March 31st at the Kendall Isaacs Gymnasium. First Class Promotions CEO Michelle Munnings, formerly Minus, says this will be a boxing event you don't want to miss.
First Class Promotions is back. After 10 years hiatus, we're back. And coming back, we had to come back with something really strong. So we decided that we were going to do an all-female, first time ever in the Bahamas, first time ever in the Caribbean. an all-female WBA world title fight.
The main event of the evening will be a 10-round bout for the vacant World Boxing Association WBA international title between Canadian Lindsay Garbett at 9-9-2, 9 wins, 9 losses, 2 draws, and American Jamie the Miracle Mitchell with 8 wins, 1 loss, 2 draws. The women have a fierce rivalry brewing, and they will sort things out. They will sort their differences out in the ring right here in the Bahamas. Ms. Munnings-Minus shared more about the honoree Ray Minus Jr., who is now battling with the disease ALS that attacks the nervous system.
This show is to honor the legendary Ray Minus Jr. Ray Minus has been stricken with something called ALS. We want to also bring awareness to that so that persons will know what ALS really is all about. ZNS carried a really, really good clip. Actually, they did 3 nights of it, really looking at what Ray is really looking like today and to see his condition. It's on YouTube, and if you guys can log on to YouTube, you'd be able to see it in its entirety. It's actually basically an event to assist him in his challenges. So I'm urging you to go online, purchase your ticket, be a part of this event, and let him know that we're still in his corner. His fight, our fight.
Representative from the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, Kerry Baker, the Deputy Director of Sports, said they are pleased to partner with First Class Promotions and to assist Ray Minus Jr.
The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture is proud to be in partnership with this event. And it is amazing to know that some 60 plus years ago, Dr. Dame Doris Johnson were fighting for women's rights. And to know now that first class boxing is bringing to the Bahamas for the first time an all women boxing match. And so we are delighted. We also want to take knowledge at this time to know that it is also a worthy event to the point on honoring one of our Bahamians great, Ray Minus Jr.
Mr. Baker is encouraging Bahamians to come out and support the event that has been sanctioned by the Bahamas Boxing Commission. Calvin Green, Secretary of the Commission, is impressed with the efforts by First Class Promotions.
We wish to congratulate Ms. Munnings-Minus on this achievement of putting together such a production as an all-female event. I believe it's certainly going to be fantastic. And so we gave our support, and we want to encourage her, and we wish her well with this particular production, this program.
The co-main event on the all-female fight card will feature Brazilian Simone Silva, 17 wins, 22 losses, versus American newcomer O'Shea Jones, 1 win, no loss. There are 4 fights altogether on the card, sponsored by Modelo Beer, distributed by the Bahamian Brewery Company, Easy Car Sales for electric vehicles, and 100 Jams group of companies among the other sponsors. We'll have more from that press conference in a later report. In the meantime, you can purchase your tickets for the all-female professional boxing show online at BahamasEtickets.com. And finally, a reminder, this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, March 18th and 19th, the Long Islanders Association invites you to its mini regatta captain switch-up and fair at Montague Bay Beach and Park. There will be lots of food, drinks, games, and music. But all eyes, once again, will be on the water for the racing with a different kind of twist. As skippers and teams switch boats, it's a good way to tell if the boat is simply fast, or like we said, if it's the skipper that's making those mastery decisions on the winds out there and on the waters. And we'll see how things go this weekend. They'll have 8 sloops in the E-Class, 6 sloops in the C-Class. They start on Saturday morning at 12 noon. It's a 1 p.m. start on Sunday. That'll do it for your JCN Evening News. I'm Jcn Saunders.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.